Hello there, Christopher Olson, let's see, what am I? The founder and the co-chair of Welcome to Housing. As you may know, we started back in 2011. We ended up with a great big warehouse, and we're so lucky that we had that because we really got established over probably about a 4.5 year time period. And this past June of 2016, unfortunately, another tenant came in next door that wanted the space, and that's fine. As I told the donor, we were so grateful because it proved that we could actually do what we set out to do, and that was to help people that were displaced by fire, displaced by domestic violence, or moving out of a shelter, or even coming back into the community from the corrections department to get them started. Because so many people start out with a nice place to live or a decent place to live and nothing for furniture, nothing for home goods, anything along that line. And technically, we're a furniture bank. There's a lot of good coincidences that have happened with Welcome to Housing. On my birthday, which was the founding time of Welcome to Housing back in 2011, that's when it was founded. But a couple of years back, my wife and I were up on Cadillac Mountain. There was nothing for parking. There's an empty space that opened up. This gentleman came out of nowhere on foot, waved us into it. I was so happy I gave him a card. He's visiting from Minnesota. His name was Bob Faint. Well, about 15, 20 minutes later, Bob comes running up to us all excited because he looked at the back of my card. What are the chances of being on Cadillac Mountain, on Mount Desert Island, in October, when there were tour buses and cruise ships in port, that I would run into a volunteer for North America's largest furniture bank? That's a really cool coincidence. Now, I won't keep you too much longer. We do have a new space. It's up in Old Town, and God love them, the donors have given us a house to use. We have a lease that's going to be written up. We cover the liability insurance through the people we work with under Adoptive and Foster Families of Maine under their auspices, their 501c3 nonprofit status. We're an all-volunteer group right now. But what's really cool, it's over twice as big as what we had for the warehouse. Needs some work, but it's donated, and there's some other good things coming down the pike, and I'll get into those details. But I knew it was going to work for a simple reason. Yet another small world story, whether it's divine intervention or just wonderful dumb luck or coincidence, whatever you want to call it. I call it synchronicity, actually. Long time ago when I worked for the March of Dimes, before I worked for the March of Dimes, I used to talk with a guy by the name of Ed Marsh. Ed Marsh was with the Piscataquis County Sheriff's Department. When I got hired by the March of Dimes, yes, I've had a lot of jobs, I was bullied, that's the way I educated myself. Ed was a great volunteer for me with jail and bail and so forth because he worked with the Piscataquis County Sheriff's Department. And as we got to know each other, he brought me a couple of pieces of memorabilia that were really old, back when the March of Dimes had conquered polio. And some of the memorabilia had messages on it like, "The new March of Dimes preventing polio, arthritis, and birth defects." And I looked at Ed and I said, "Where did you get these?" He said, "Oh, my father and I used to be volunteers in Middlesex County, Massachusetts years ago, long before I came along." Okay. God rest his soul, Ed passed away a number of years ago. I was with Adoptive and Foster Families of Maine at a event, and I met somebody from Charleston. And to make a connection, I said, "Did you ever know a gentleman by the name of Ed Marsh up in Dover Foxcroft?" He said, "Well, yes, I did. Wonderful man." And this gentleman pointed across the room and said, "In fact, there's Ed's daughter, Stacy." Now, jumping forward to this time, Rhonda Savage and Holly Hayden with PCHC Hope House told me that they were trying to work with a gentleman that they work with who handles facilities. You'll never guess his name. Ed Marsh. A little light bulb pops on above my head, my little imaginary world, and I said, "Is he related to the gentleman that used to be with the Piscataquis County Sheriff's Department?" Bingo. The Ed Marsh that's helping us with this new space is the son of Ed Marsh, who was one of my first March of Dimes volunteers, And Ed is also the brother to Stacy Boss, who I've known for quite a few years now, who works for DHHS. So like they say, there are no coincidences. We'll have more news about the new space. You have no idea how excited I am. As if I really showed you how excited I was, you'd think I was completely bonkers. So thank you for sticking with us and having the faith that Welcome to Housing will continue, because it will. And I will keep you updated even more. Sorry to be a little windy, but it's been a long day doing my regular work as a real estate agent. But it's been a great day. Thank you for your support. And within the next month or so, you're going to be seeing a lot more of Welcome to Housing. Thank you.